What you doing, Otaku? I'm DAC, and I'm going to talk about the anime film Goblin Slayer, Goblin's Crown. It came out in Japan in February 1st, 2020, but it finally came to Crunchyroll on July 28th, 2020. Now, Crunchyroll did some marketing, some hyping for this film. Uh, what they were calling their Crunchyroll movie night was supposed to be like some kind of special event. There wasn't anything special about it. They just added it to their app, to their catalog with what they already have. Not a big deal. It's whatever. I don't know what they thought was going to happen with this, but yeah, it was simply they added it to it. That was it. Haven't seen anything else special involved with it. But yeah, the film is about an hour long. There is a 25-minute recap though that comes on first, at least on Crunchyroll. I don't know if they did that with the original movie. I guess it's helpful if you haven't watched Goblin Slayer in a while. It's been a year since I watched it, so I guess the recap is nice, but it's also like I don't want to start watching something where the first 25 minutes is a recap. Not a great way to start this film. And I didn't know about the recap at first, so it did catch me off guard. I was just getting irritated. I was like, oh, okay, a few minutes of this, be fine. It's an hour and a half, a few minutes isn't going to be anything. It kept going, 25 minutes later, and I was like, oh, the film's only actually an hour. They added this recap for whatever reason, because that's just what they do in anime. Oh, anyways, let's actually talk about what I thought of the movie. There wasn't much to think about. There wasn't anything that happened that makes it bad, because there just was not much to it. Period. Really, not much at all. It's like, it was something to watch. It's not the most action-packed. There are some brutal stuff that happens throughout the movie, but it was just like, meh, okay. This is something. Don't really know what he was going for, but this was something. Now, if you don't know what the movie is about, the Goblin Slayer and his group, they go to save this noble fencer. Her group was sent to this village to wipe out the goblins. Her whole idea was starve them out. She definitely underestimated them, but then her group starts doubting her. They eventually send her away to go and get more supplies. Turns out she was probably the only ones keeping them alive and keeping them focused, because when she leaves and on her way back, they must have let the guard down, thought whatever, they can do whatever. They all get decapitated and killed. She gets taken prisoner, and now Goblin Slayer's group has to go save her. You know, I guess they didn't know if she was actually captured or dead, so they were just going to go check to see what the situation was. And they do. They save her, they find her, but they see that she's branded on the back of her neck with some symbol, and they realize it's a brand of the god of knowledge, which is the more interesting concept of this movie, is that there's this god of knowledge who just gives knowledge to whoever wants it, indiscriminately. If you want knowledge, he gives it to you. And somehow the goblins got a sound on that. Maybe somebody was helping them, but who would help goblins? I don't know. So, after they save her, they plan on going back to this other fort to take care of the rest of them, wipe them all out, because something's obviously wrong and they need to put a stop to it. The girl they rescued, she decides to go with them. Obviously seems like a bad idea, but she seems determined. What could go wrong? A lot. She is pretty much almost useless throughout the whole thing. If anything, she makes situations worse at first. Just yelling and freaking out. I get it, PTSD, you went through some bad stuff. You should have stayed behind then. And she's supposed to be this noble fencer, but she barely uses a sword at all. You saw it in like the flashback, her sword is frozen. She like stabs a goblin with a little short sword or dagger or something at one point. Really the only time she's useful is like the 2 times she uses lightning magic to help out. That's kind of it. A lot of the action, kind of typical Goblin Slayer, you know, it's just a bunch of goblins. They're not that amazing. There's a lot of running. I don't know why. They're doing a lot of running on the fort walls. They're running down hills. They're running from whatever. A lot of running. And then there's a big bad, champion goblin that eventually comes out. And it's like, oh, this will be the big boss battle or something leading to the big boss battle. And it's like, this will be the climax, and it's lame. Goblin Slayer goes off against him once. He's able to break the Goblin Slayer's sword. He has the chick's other sword that he picked up from her. And it's okay. Then Goblin Slayer and the group runs away. It's like, okay, first confrontation, whatever. Second time they meet, after they ran down that hill, because like I said, a lot of running, confronts him again. Like, there's hardly anything. He's like, tricks the goblin to stab in his shield, uses that to take the sword away, and then kills that goblin champion thing, whatever. Very anticlimactic. That was it. That's as exciting as it gets. Yeah, not much to it. Then I guess this was his plan to begin with. He starts an avalanche to wipe out the rest of the goblins coming. And he gets swept away while everyone else is protected by magic. And it's like, oh, this could be like a dramatic, heartfelt search for him, afraid he's dead, and blah, blah, blah. Nope. Like a minute later, he pops up out of his nose. He's like, yeah, he's fine. What was the point of this? It's just like a long episode. That's all it is, really. Like, there wasn't really any emotion that seemed to be put in it. There wasn't a lot of action. Any climax that could have happened was just like, here it is. And that was it. Really, the only thing I pulled from this, and the whole purpose of everything, is that they learn that goblins are learning too. And they know this god of knowledge who's just given out knowledge to goblins, and goblins are just soaking it in. They're learning how, like, smell, or, like, I guess weapon craft. They were doing metal work. That was pretty much it. That's all you could really pull from it. And maybe this leads into something else. Like I said, this felt more like it was just a long episode that is bridging into what could be a second season. It was fine. It's fine to watch. It's short. Just skip the recap. And then the rest is like an hour long. It's still, like I said, it's not bad. It's just kind of meh. It's kind of like, okay, I watched this. It was fun. Not much happened. Nothing got me excited, but yeah, it was something. Yeah, the most brutal part was in the flashback. That was it. To see what happened with the first girl. It was kind of tame for what you expect from Goblin Slayer, but maybe it has to be. Who knows? But what do you think? Have you watched it? It's on Crunchyroll. You can watch it if you want to. But yeah, let me know what you think if you have, or if you planned on it, or just let me know what you think of Goblin Slayer series to begin with. It's more exciting than this film. But yeah, if you like what I have to say, go ahead and like this video. If you want to see me talk more about anime and all kinds of other stuff related to it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You can see when I do all that. But until next time, I'm the EC. Thank you for watching, and bye.